Hello, and welcome to the 180th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Brucker, and I'm coming to you live here from Casa de Brucker. We're going to be having another outstanding beer. We're going to have another beer from the brewery of the Salty Parrot Brewing Company, whose motto is "Make Waves, Live Salty." It kind of reminds me of like Salt Life. But anyway, today we're going to be having their peach wheat ale, or their Hefeweizen, which is called Beach Street Wheat. And it's recommended by them that you drink this on the beach. So I'm kind of excited about it because I'm always looking for a nice beer to drink at the beach. And I typically do like a nice wheat at the beach. So this should be interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it, and then we'll talk about it. We're getting a really, really light color. So it's obviously a filtered wheat because it's not coming out cloudy or anything like that. It does look like it's getting nice carbonation that we're getting, and continuing carbonation, which is nice on there. So that's good. Now, again, like we talked about before, their beers aren't really, because they're relatively new, haven't made it like the Beer Advocate and stuff like that. But this beer gets a 3.7 out of 5 on Untappd, which is actually, for Untappd, again, a very good score. So I'm excited. But you know, a lot of the fruited ones they call a Berliner Weiss. This actually says a Hefeweizen traditional with peach. So it should be interesting. It sounds, up my alley. Sometimes those Berliner Weiss, they get a little bit too sweet, okay? But I think this one could be really tasty, so I'm excited about it. The beer is 4.2% alcohol by volume, so you can drink it out by the pool, you can drink it out by the beach. Again, they recommend the beach, okay? It's low in IBUs, it's 10 IBUs, so there's going to be no bitterness, I can imagine, to the beer. I think it's going to be a sweeter. From what I've deducted from it, is probably going to be pretty heavy on the peach, I would imagine. But we won't know until we dig into it. So let's smell it first. And I'm still getting good carbonation. I don't know if you can see it, but there's good carbonation coming up from the bottom. So they did this right. It's got the right amount of carbonation for the beer. The head did kind of dissipate a little bit, but if you swirl a little bit there, you do get the little legs and all that. So let's go ahead and smell it. So you do get a scent of peach. It's not as heavy on the peach as I anticipated, but you definitely get a little smell of that peach in there. And I can smell the wheat they use in here also, but the peach doesn't stand out as much as I expected. But that can also be different when I taste it. So let's not waste any time. Again, this was brought to us by our friends Tom and Sarah, who actually have a place right by this brewery in Charlotte, North Carolina. So they were nice enough to bring us some to sample and talk about. Plus, next time when we go up there to visit them, we'll get to go to the Salty Parrot, which I'm very excited about. I always love it to try a new brewery. So anyway, let me go ahead and let's talk about this one after we taste it. Okay, so you definitely do get the peaches in it. It's not overpowering to where it's like tastes just like peaches or something like that. You get the Hefeweizen flavor kind of balanced with the peach. So they kind of complement each other. The peach not being overly sweet to where it overpowers the Hefeweizen, and the Hefeweizen being a good sturdy Hefeweizen, but not overpowering to where you're not enjoying the peach. So I think it's a good combination that they've got, and they balanced it well. So let me try this again here. Yeah. I mean, it's very drinkable. Finish is somewhat dry, so you don't get like a lingering sweetness after you drink it. So it's something you could drink and really enjoy. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And sometimes, you know, when you get these fruited wheat beers, they're either too sweet or they're just not right. You know what I mean? And this, I think they did a really good job on this. Because on this beer, it's still a beer. It's not like like sometimes when they make peach flavored beers, they tend to be, you know, super sweet, and this actually has a nice balance to it. So you're really getting the taste of the beer with the beer is still the start of the show, but you still get that peach in there to give it just a kind of a different flavor. So I like it. I think it's they did a nice job on this, and you know, the key to making a beer like this is you can't overpower either one. You got to balance it, and that's what they did here. They balanced it so it's a very drinkable beer, finishes crisp, you know, so you don't get the lingering, like I said, you don't get that lingering sweetness of the peaches. As a matter of fact, the peaches is not near as much as I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I had in my mind that this was going to be, I think in the description it said loaded with peaches, so I expected it to have a really overpowering peach flavor, but it's not. The beer is still the star of the show, with the peaches as the additional backup just to make it have a nice, different kind of flavor than you get from a normal Hefeweizen. A normal Hefeweizen, a lot of time you get, we talked about it before, like the banana, the clove. You know, here you're getting a crisp beer, wheat beer, but you're getting some peach, but it's not the overpowering sweet peach, like I said. Okay, so make sure if you're in Charlotte, make sure, which I'm going to do, you try out the Salty Parrot. And like I said, make waves, live salty. So that's kind of their motto. And if you get there, make sure you tell them that you saw them on Beer Issues. And if you got any friends who enjoy beer, make sure you tell them about Beer Issues and how much fun we're having talking about beer and drinking great beer. And if they want any cool Beer Issues gear, like this great Beer Issues hat, make sure they go to shop.beerissues.com. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.